Ladies and gentlemen, thems and zems alike, I am Dell, and welcome back to another episode of Deck Tech, show where I talk about my commander decks and kind of go through the cards and kind of show them off and kind of ramble about them. Today, thinking about doing this one for a while. Got my Slimefoot, the Stowaway. It's one, come on, focus, black and a green. Too shiny? There you go. It's a fungus. Whenever Saproling control dies, he does 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. Then for 4 mana, you can create a Saproling. 2-3, got a little butt on him. Now this, specifically, is what my friends and I call Quarter Commander, where every card in the deck costs about a quarter. We say about because they're one shop. Does 49-cent-ish cards, 3 for $1. So it ends up being like 33 cents in some percentage. But in all fairness, about 25 cents. Just flows off the tongue saying Quarter Commander rather than 33-cent Commander. That being said, I have not checked prices in a bit. Excuse me. I know I've been waiting for, I believe Arcane Signet's probably gone up a little bit since I put it in here. But about the time I put it in, it was next to nothing. But name of the deck is make a bunch of Saproling tokens, and did pretty good. Though I should say, it does pretty good most games I play where I can get a bunch out and just swing out. Either they take the damage from the Saprolings, or they die and they take damage from the Saprolings. Either way, it wins. But anyway, we'll go through real quick. Talk about some of the cards. Have these kind of in order real quick. But we have Spore Sower Thallid. Beginning of your upkeep, put a Spore counter on each fungus you control. Then remove 3 Spore counters from Spore Thallid. Create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. So there are quite a few of these that do this ability. This one in particular lets you put one on each fungus, whether or not it actually benefits you. Like someone's going to get them, but doesn't do much with them. We have Thalen of Havenwood. Each fungus gets +1/+1 for each Spore counter on it, which is a plus. Going with that one. And exile a fungus card from a graveyard paying black and green. Put a Spore counter on each fungus on the battlefield. So we got some synergy going there. We got Vita Spore Thallid, signed by the artist. Having every upkeep, put a Spore counter on it. Remove 3, make a Saproling. Sacrifice Saproling. Target creature gains haste on turn. They'll come into play, I think, the last 2 cards in this pile. Thelonite Hermit gives all Saprolings +1/+1. As a morph, and when it is turned face up from its morph, you get 4 Saprolings. Jade Mage, 2 and a green, make a Saproling. Don't have to explain myself there. Mata, Grove Guardian, 2 and a green as well, make a Saproling. Sacrifice Saproling, all Saprolings get +1/+1 on turn. So this is helpful if you're swinging wide, whatever, unblock Saproling before you deal damage, after you go to blockers. You can sacrifice a Sapling, pump up the rest of your Saplings. Sacrifice a blocked one, rather. Now, I'm waiting for this one. This is actually the reprint. It actually was really cheap when I put it in there, so again, I'm not 100% sure, but at least it was at one point. So we have Utopia Mycon. Same deal. Plus, I'm reading it, I still say +1/+1. Spore counter on it. Beginning of each upkeep. Remove 3, make a Saproling. Sacrifice Sapling, add a mana. Any color. It's probably going to be green or black in this case, but Verdant Force. Beginning of each upkeep. Create a Saproling. Bada bing. Probably one of my favorite arts. There's a few different arts for this. This is probably my favorite. There's a second favorite too. It looks really creepy, but I like the Edward Beard art. Kind of looks like the heap. But the OG Thallid. During your upkeep, put a Spore counter. Remove 3 Spore counters, make a Thallid. Thallid Soothsayer. Doesn't make Saprolings, but hey, has good ability. 2 Sacrifice creature, draw a card. Not too many good sack outlets in this game, but Thallid Devourer. Your upkeep, put a counter on it. Remove 3 to make a Saproling. Sacrifice Saproling to give this card +1/+2 on the turn. Again, swing wide if they don't block it. You can pump them up. Sparloth Ancient. Being your upkeep, put a counter on it. Creature control have remove 2 Spore counters from this creature. Put a 1/1 green Sapling creature token into play. This is pretty helpful with, this one gives some other funguses counters, but they don't have the built-in ability to do that, so this helps out quite a few games, giving them that ability. This one just says, enters battlefield, dies, make one, add a mana any color. The mana, also signed by the artist. Primeval Warden. Reach, if a creature an opponent controls will die, exile instead. When you do, roll 1 green Saproling, creature token into play. For 1 green, sacrifice Saproling. Warden gets +2/+2. Sorry, I had to read past the signature. 1 in the black, sacrifice 2 Saprolings, draw a card. Get a little built-in sack outlet. Helps a lot with Slimefoot's first ability, but not too much in the budget range for quick sack outlets. But this guy is an all-star here. Beginning of your upkeep, put a sport counter on it, remove 3, make a Saproling, sacrifice Saproling, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. That's the only big outlet I have, and this gets killed quite a lot. This one is the other one. Same thing. Upkeep, sport counter, remove 3, make a token, sacrifice Saproling, regenerate target fungus. But beyond that, those two, not really much I can do without paying a little bit. We have Korazda Guildmage. 1 black and green. Turkish is +++ until end of turn. Gains Intimidate. But the bigger one is 2 black green. Sacrifice a non-token creature. Put X Saproling tokens in play where X is toughest. Okay, you'll see that when we get to the last one. Oh, I missed one. This one has a free sack outlet. Target creature gets +++ on the turn. Again, going wide. Whatever creature is unblocked, you sacrifice the rest of them to pump that one up, and it gets the ping off of Slimefoot. We go on to our mana dorks. We got Hedron Crawler, tap for colorless, Leyline Prowler, tap for any color, has Death Touch and Lifelink. Leafkin Druid, tap for a green, or if I control 4 more creatures, which happens more often than not, get 2 green. Everyone's favorite Land War Elves. Golden Hind. Oop, hit the camera. Tap to add green. Real pretty art. I don't see this too often, because nobody really plays cards like that. Widening Constrictor. This one might have gone up a little bit, so I'll have to look at the deck again and go through prices. But 1 or more counters will be placed on an artifact creature control. That many +1. If you would get 1 more counters, you get many +1 instead. So it helps with the fungus counters, or spore counters rather. Golgari Fine Broker. Helps bring stuff back in my graveyard. And then there's a sack outlet for that other ability where you can get 4 Saprolings off them. Nature's Nightblade. My token control leaves the battlefield. Each opponent loses a life, gain a life. Again, kind of that baked-in ability that Slimefoot has. Another recursion. Quambage Witches. Another pet favorite card of mine. Just love to play in this card. You did to deal damage to a target creature player, then they get to return the favor. More often than not, the witches can survive the 1 damage, but more often than not in this deck, I'm going to be pinging my own Saprolings to do some damage. Then we got the big beefy boys. We got Doomgape and Daemogoth Titan. These are in here because their innate ability to be big, nasty threats, but also have the downside of you have to sacrifice a creature. But hey, if I have enough Saprolings, I'm not really too worried about that. This one does a lot better than this one, only because it's 4 mana. This one's 7, but I still did pretty good with them. I like slapping these on the table towards the end of the game to kind of round things out. Go to what do I have here? Instance. Spore Swarm, making sappies. Sprout Swarm, making sappies. It's got Convoke and Buyback, so I can do it a couple times. 5 mana for 1 Saproling, but you get to tap your Saprolings to pay for it. Not too bad. Scatter the Seeds, Convoke as well. This one makes 3 Saprolings, but doesn't have the Buyback. Price of Fame. If you're playing Commander, you want to get rid of people's commanders. I don't have to explain too much. But also Surveil, so I get to put stuff in my graveyard. Putrefy, one of my favorite destruction spells. Artifact or creature. I can't regenerate. Card of Nature. Destroy artifact, enchantment, or exile target created card from my graveyard. And Death Sprout. Destroy target creature, search your library for a basic land, put in the battlefield tapped, shuffle your library. So that helps out pretty good. Sorceries. We get Death Mutation, 8 mana, 6 and a black and a green. Destroy target non-black creature can't be regenerated, then put that many Saprolings into play, or it's the converted mana cost. Late game does pretty good, but I almost never get to see that card actually getting cast. Saproling Migration, again, making Saprolings. Morbid Bloom, 6 mana, doing the same thing, making Saprolings, but you're removing target creature card and graveyard from the game, then putting that many creatures into play where it's its toughness. I have got to cast this once, targeting them out of my Doomgape or the Daemogoth Titan, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, I wasn't getting them back anytime soon. Zombify, speaking of which, getting stuff back. Open the gates, search your library for a basic or a gate card, put in your hand shuffle. There are 2 gates in this deck, of course, but basics also fun to get. Nature Spiral, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. And recursion is pretty useful. Vigor Mortis, turn creature card from your graveyard to play, but if you pay green, the creature comes in with a +1/+1 counter. Treasured Find, recursion, because you have to exile after you cast it. Not too bad. I don't really see this too much, but one of my favorite cards to play. And Gaze of Granite. Destroy each non-land creature permanent. Let me start over. Destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost X or less. I love casting this for 2 black and a green, with 0 being the cost, so it just blows up all of my Saplings. Wishes was an instant, so I could do it in response to something like exiling or some shenanigans, but most often than not, you're playing essentially as Pauper, but Pauper with more restrictions. You're not really playing against too many exile board wipes, Artifacts, we have Sarpadian Empires Volume 7. You get to choose when it comes into play: White Citizen, Blue Camerid, Black Thrall, Red Goblin, or Green Saproling. Spoiler, it's going to be the Green Saproling. You pay 3 and tap it, put a 1/1 creature token of that chosen color and type into play. Plague Boiler, probably my favorite board wipe in this deck, in most formats too, but I have a little simple one. Being for upkeep, put a plague counter on it, pay 1 a black and a green, put a plague counter on it, or remove a plague counter from it. Then Plague Boiler has 3 or more counters on its sacrifice if you do destroy all non-land permanents. Again, if I have a really big board state, this helps speed it along, especially if no one's really letting me kill my own Saprolings. No one's blocking, no one's killing them. Game ender, really. Armillary Sphere, pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it. 2 basics, put them in your hand, the routine. Traveler's Amulet, same thing. 1, sacrifice it, search for 1 basic, put it in your hand. Again, Arcane Signet. At the time I made it, I'm not sure if it's still that price. This was dirt cheap for a while, and every once in a while they reprint it and it's dirt cheap again, but I'm not 100% sure it's still within price range, but I'll be happy to make the challenge of adding something else in here. Talisman of Resilience. This might have spiked up a little bit too, but old Mana Rock is always useful. Again, I'll have to look into that. Seer's Lantern, Mana Rock, Scry ability, not much to say. Sisay's Ring, tap to add 2 colorless mana. Urgolem's Eye, same thing, tap to add 2 colorless mana. Manalith, it's Mana Rock, Charcoal Diamond, and Moss Diamond Mana Rocks. I put some more Mana Rocks and the Mana Dorks in here, pretty much for Slimefoot's ability as well as just overall mana is always useful. But more often than not, I like to make my own Saplings, mainly through Slimefoot. If I'm able to make 1 per turn at least, I'm doing pretty good. As I said, I've won my fair share of games with this deck, and I really love playing it. It does not hold its own against, I don't want to say normal commander decks, but it does pretty good against precon. So if I don't have a precon level deck, I play this. Usually getting spanked, but whatever. On new enchantments, Fungal Plots, 1 in the green, exile card from a graveyard, or from my graveyard, create a Saproling, sacrifice 2 Saprolings, gain 2 life and draw a card. So I guess this is another free sack outlet. Now I look at it again, but you have to have 2 Saprolings at a time. Necrogenesis, for 2, remove target creature card in the graveyard from a game, put a 1/1 green Saproling token into play. Talking about Night Soil. Signed by the artist, of course. Pay 1, remove 2 creature cards and engrave from the game. Make a green Saproling token. Golgari Germination. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put a 1/1 green Saproling creature token into the battlefield. Moldervine Reclamation. When a creature control dies, gain 1 life and draw a card. This one's not bad. I put in her 1 because it's Golgari 2. Does pretty good. It's a late game help for me drawing cards and gaining life, but I don't see it enough to really appreciate it, if that makes any sense. You know, I played with it a few times, but that's one of the ones I've always think about cutting when there's new Saprolings out. But onto the lands. Graham Backwoods, 2 a black and a green. Sacrifice creature, draw a card. Again, you're going to be targeting Saplings more often than not, but it does tap for colorless. Everyone's favorite, Command Tower. Jungle Hollow, coming in tapped, gaining life. Golgari Guildgate, Japanese, I'm pretty sure. But it's your gate target. Gateway Plaza is the other one. Comes in tapped. You have to pay 1 or sacrifice it. And then Evolving Wells Terramorphic Expanse. Pretty much in there to help color balance to get my basics I need. And of course you got the basics. With all older ones I had in my boxes, a bunch of forests, a bunch of swamps. I just love that frame, that brownish, kind of grayish black frame. A lot of fun. And I had a really cool token to show off. Well, I still do. I have my Jeff Labenstein one that got signed. But dang it, I had a Magic Mishamigo token. For the life of me, I can't find where it went. I'm hoping I didn't leave it at somebody's house playing the deck. But they famously cosplayed as Slimefoot. But then I have a bunch of other arts too that I've through the years I just kind of threw in here as I found them. What I need to do is go through, pick out one of each one or something like that. And of course, got this one signed when I saw him. It's not really a Saproling looking art, but I just love that style. Looks cool, right? Can't fault me for that. But anyway, that's the deck. It is probably going to get updated probably right after I upload this. I'm probably going to go back and check prices again, keep it balanced. Me and my friends don't get to play Quarter Commander too much. We're too busy playing with our actual expensive decks, like the ones we actually build. But we did this during the pandemic to kind of do something different, have a different challenge. And I think once I get the channel going more, once I update everything, I think it'll be a challenge we'll do. We'll get some friends together, build a deck, play against each other. Maybe do a bracket series. I don't know. If I get enough people. If anyone's interested, that is. But that's my deck. Hope you liked it. Hope it gave you some ideas. I do have again, I don't want to say normal Slimefoot deck, but I am working on a regular non-quarter command, non-budget commander deck that you're going to see someday. But for now, that's that. Until next time, love you.